I wouldn't have known anyone in this room, and you meet so many people, and it's just, I love that part. And for me, I love being able to help young moms stay home with their kids. Like, that is so cool that they can stay home and raise their kids instead of maybe having them in daycare if they choose to do that. And through all of that, there's lots of benefits, but I had something happen this summer that really, for me, I just went, wow, this has really showed me a lot of things. And my dear friend, she had a massive stroke this summer, and so she couldn't work, obviously, and she still can't work. Her husband can't work because he's a distance worker, so that really threw a curveball in my world as well. And I realized I could go and I could spend time with her, and I didn't have a boss that was saying, when are you coming back to work? Your desk is piling up, or whatever. And I wanted to be with her, and I got to do that. And I could do this business actually from my car. I did it beside her bed. I was out in my pajamas one morning at 7 o'clock doing a call in my car so I didn't wake anybody up. So you could do it anywhere. And you always think about, oh my goodness, you know, what if this happened to you? And so from that, I realized that everyone needs a plan B in their life. And for sure, some of you have found your plan Bs or turning in plan As, and I'm just like, this may not be the vehicle for you, but it may be. But for sure, to always have some kind of plan B in your life in case those curveballs come your way. And for us, we didn't have that disability issue, but my husband retired December 1st, and I have to watch what I say, because my cousin might go home and tell him what I'm saying. Anyway, so I have this man in my house every day now, and he's always there. Sometimes we do things that we just say, can you go find something to do for a while? But anyway, it's really cool having him home too. And but when he was finished his job, then his paycheck went, and so did all their medical benefits as well. And I'm still young, and I still want to do things, right? So I didn't know I was starting a plan B at that time, but it actually turned into a plan A for us. And that's really cool, because my paycheck is actually covering his income that he was bringing in, and I get the medical benefits, so it's just a plus plus. And the coolest thing about that is we have not had to touch our retirement that he worked so hard to put away for us. We haven't had to touch that, and don't really think we're going to have to touch that at all. So that's really cool to have that income coming into us. And I love sharing it. I love sharing it with everyone else.
And on and on and on. We could tell you stories about what Juice Plus has done for people that could make you cry, and same with this business that can make you cry. And so we're not going to take a lot of time to do that, but please ask questions if you're curious after. But I'm going to call up Michelle. She's my soul sister. I was locked in a car with her for days in order to get her to start taking Juice Plus. So she's going to come up and share her story and close out with that.
Yeah, she's very, very persistent. And Patty has this really great quality to her that she doesn't care if she knows that she's annoying somebody. And I was like, really annoyed. I would get home and be like, oh, if I have to hear about Juice Plus again, I'm just going to scream. But I don't really know why I was resisting it. I'm that, Teresa, like, when I go to a trade show, I don't even make eye contact. I'm like, why am I here? I hate being sold to. So then I decided to order Juice Plus, because my son was getting so sick all the time, and I finally gave in to her. And it's like she pulled it right out of her butt. She's like, okay, here it is, here's the box. I'm like, whoa, like, I don't have any time to go back on this. There's like, yes, we're on Juice Plus. And then not like a week later, she starts talking to me about the business, and I'm like, oh no, I thought I had her off my back for a good 4 months. But here I was thinking about the business. And the only reason she was sharing the business with me is because I'm a talker, same thing. I was sharing it, and I had 3 customers that I brought to Sandy, and I'm like, okay, these girls all want to sign up on Juice Plus. They heard what it did with Lincoln, and they're ready to go. And she's like, well, let's just put them under you, and it will cover some of the cost of your own Juice Plus, which I did listen to, because I, like everyone else, I wasn't sure for my whole family how we could be on it. So I decided I would do that, and I relented finally to go to a Juice Plus event with her. And I remember listening to a really powerful speaker, and he was saying, alluding to the fact that they were making like $50,000 a month or something, and I was like, what the heck, like you can do that with a vitamin? I had no idea. And Sandy's like, elbows me, she's like, it's not a vitamin, it's food. But he said, there's no shame in my income because my paycheck goes up in direct relation to how many people's lives are changing. And that I believed because I had already heard the stories. I had a friend with rheumatoid arthritis. She was my age and her hands were about to start twisting because joint deformity was the next step of her illness. And she's been in remission for 2 years now since she started Juice Plus. And I have another friend who was just struggling with infertility for 9 years. And they had tried everything and they had pretty well given up. She started Juice Plus because of colds and flus, and they got pregnant. 4 months later, she let me know that she was pregnant, and I was like bawling. You know, like if that information needs to get out to people. And so, yeah, if the business isn't for you, just tune it out. But my business story, I think, is even more close to my heart because I went to this event and I decided I was actually going to do something with it more than just covering the cost of my family. And as the universe would have it, things kind of come into your life. You don't know what's going to come next, right? And I ended up going through a divorce within probably a month of that event. And it was to do with addiction issues that we had been battling with as a couple. And he had gone to all of the programs, and we were really hopeful that he was going to make it through and stay sober, and it just wasn't the case. And I mean, it just was the end of the road for us, and it was sudden, and I didn't realize. And this was just kind of a plan B for me too. I thought I could maybe make as much as I had made when I was on maternity leave and just contribute to the family a little bit. I didn't realize that I was going to need to do this full time. And I was faced with going back to work, and I was looking at my little babies and thinking, they can't do that. You know, like they just lost their dad and they can't lose their mom. I can't do it. So I decided to do this, and it was a leap of faith. It was like one of those things where I just was like, okay, give me a sign. Is this what I'm supposed to do? And if it is, I'm going to win an iPad. And I won the flipping iPad. And I was like, okay, like that never happened. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to go for it. And when I hit the darkest hour of having to deal with the untangling of the family that I thought I was always going to have, it was my Juice Plus girls that were coming and like helping me get the kids ready for the day, and like bringing food and helping me clean the house, because like there are days you can't lift your head off the pillow. It's like a rough time, right? And I thought to myself, this business is something special. Like more people need to know about what we're doing. And so that's my business story. That's like the passion behind what I do and why I do it and why I share the business with people. And maybe you know somebody that needs a community like ours or needs some extra income. And I'm just going to take a minute to show you how easy it is. And we never used to do this, and I think it was the missing piece, because people would get out of here and be like, right on, this is so cool, I want to join this mission, but what do I do? And there was this disconnect. So you might be sitting here begrudgingly with arms crossed and avoiding eye contact, thinking, I might look at this business. And if you are, in your head, you might have a few things that are floating around. 1, I don't have time. 2, I'm not a salesperson. And 3, this is probably one of those pyramid schemes. And I probably dealt with all 3 of those when I was first having Sandy annoying the heck out of me. I was like, geez, I can't do one of these businesses. That's one of those crazy pyramid things. And so I saw somebody do this once, and it really explained it to me. So in a regular pyramid, if you ask somebody what is a pyramid, they'll say it's usually where there's a whole bunch of people just pushing one person to the top. And I kind of kindly like to ask, oh, is like what you do? You know, most of us work in a pyramid, right? A grocery store, all the corporations, they're all pyramids. And so that's just what a normal pyramid looks like. There's a CEO at the top. There's all kinds of managers. There's, you know, national managers, provincial managers, store managers, and then there's, we'll say, Donna down here. And she works really hard at her job. She's really great with people, and she puts a lot into her job. And she might have the chance of getting to store manager. She's never going to get to CEO. And the sad part is, somebody else might come in that knows the store manager and get that job, or maybe they've got different things on paper, and Donna's got to wait for another 3 or 4 years until that person moves on. And that's a true pyramid, and it's probably something we've all dealt with in this room. I know that I've tried for jobs before and not gotten them, and you know, you're never going to get to be the CEO of a big company. But ours is so different. It's exactly the opposite. So at the top of our company, you can be a national marketing director, and that's what I am. I did that quickly because I needed to. And I have full medical benefits for me and my kids. I have tuition reimbursement package for my children and I. I've replaced my income that I had before, and I'm solely supporting my family, working from my living room in my pajamas most days. My son Lincoln is like, Mom, you don't have to wear the same thing every day. I'm like, oh, my pajamas. It's 5 o'clock. Or my daughter the other day, she's like, Mom, are you going to sleep in those? Because you didn't even take them off from last night. So it's really the freedom of just like hanging around the house and doing whatever you want. And some days we don't get out, and some days I do keep those pajamas on. But National Marketing Director, there's no limit of space at the top for National Marketing Directors. Everybody starts as a DLR. It's only $50 to join our business, and that's all you ever pay. You pay that once per year, and there's no monthly minimums, and there's no requirements to do anything, and that was huge for me. And so the only difference, so if Donna's on this side, and she decides, no, I do have the work ethic, and I do want to work from home, and this is something that would be a good thing in my life, and I want those medical benefits, the only variable between DLR and NMD is her. It's her. If she wants to put the work in, she'll get to NMD. Like, it's not like, oh, sorry, you can't go NMD this month because we already had 5. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, and anyone can be a national marketing director. And if I did it, anyone can do it. Like, I mean, there are people going national marketing director every day in our company. It's not one of those things where there's that token one person that travels the country and that they're the only one that made it to the top of the marketing plan. Not in our business anyways. I find it very manageable to do it. So definitely not a pyramid. A true pyramid is actually like if I were to buy a box of Sharpies and I sell them to Sandy, I bought them for $5. I sell them to Sandy for $10 and made a profit, and then she sells them to a friend for $15, $20, $25, $30, all the way up till say $40. So the person at the end that bought this box of Sharpies for $40 is kind of in a bad way because nobody wants to buy a box of Sharpies for $40. And they thought it was a good deal. They got convinced to do it. They thought, okay, great, and they bought the product, and they can't move it. So they're stuck with all this product, and that's a true pyramid, and they're actually illegal. So definitely nothing to do with pyramid. The I'm too busy is like my mantra. I was like, are you kidding me? I had 3 other businesses at the time that she came at me with this. And I was at the time running a family of 6, a household of 6 people. And yeah, right, I didn't have the time. I was invoicing, I was doing books, I was doing everything for all those companies, managing employees, and it was just a nightmare. And Sandy said, oh, well, you don't have to do any of that in this. You just share Juice Plus and put it in the computer, and then someone else does. And it's true. The product is shipped out by them. The invoicing and billing is done by them. They pay anyone in the team. I don't do anything except for punch stuff in. If someone wants to sign up as a team member, then they get in the computer. Or a customer, they go in the computer, and that's the last thing I need to do about it, other than maintain my relationship with them and ask them how they're doing and that sort of thing. So it is totally part-time, and you can build a completely full-time income doing this. And I'm living proof of that, really. And so are these 2 ladies. So that's the time thing. And then I'm not a salesperson. Oh my gosh, the girl that crossed her arms at the trade show, like that's me. It was probably my biggest of the 3 objections. And Sandy just pointed out to me, Michelle, how many people have you told about Twig in town? And I told this yesterday, and it's a store I love. I love it. It's really affordable clothing, really stylish. It all looks like it came over from Paris, and but really affordable. And every time I go out places, people say, where did you get that? And I'm always like, it's Twig. Go downtown to Cameras. I cannot tell you how much money I've made that woman. I'm telling you. And I don't get anything for that. And that's okay, because that's just the way stores work, right? But I'm a talker anyways. It's just that the difference in this business is that I'm making an income off of sharing something that I believe in really passionately so I can build a paycheck. So that's the only difference. And those are the objections. So hopefully those of you that are mildly interested in what we do, I'm going to leave that there, now kind of want to know what to do. It is so simple. We just got a brand new bonus program which allows for a lot of money, which, you know, I'm a single parent, and bonus money was how I paid my groceries in the first few months. You know, living off $500 is not an option, and that's what I was making per month at the time. So bonus money has always been really good, a big thing for me.